Hello, everybody. Dear guests, it's our great honor that we can hosting you today in Luka Koper in such a big number. It is not many times opportunity that such a big number is together, let's say, in one day. Some of you are familiar with our port, some of you are not, and this is opportunity for everybody. This one which are familiar to see what we did in the past and what are our plans for the future, and of others which are not familiar to see what Port of Koper really is. As you know, Luka Koper is the only Slovenian port, means strategically important for our country, but not just for our country. Luka Koper is, we are calling transit port, because just 1/3 of domestic market is going through Luka. That means that 2/3 is for other countries. That means that our role is very important for European countries, which are served by us, let's say, with our facilities, with our services, also with the other countries in Far East or other destinations. So, as I said, with some of you we are even familiar, we cooperated in the past, with some of you we are looking forward to cooperate in the future, but we are really looking forward, let's say, that in the future there will be more and more opportunity to expand our cooperation and to meet with all of you in certain circumstances where we can expand our cooperation with different countries. In this occasion, let's say we prepared for you a presentation of our port. After the presentation, which will be represented by my colleague Andrej Car, there will be place for some questions, so please do not hesitate to ask anything in respect of our port, which is, as I said, geographically situated very well, and we are doing our best to promote and to use this shortest route from Far East to the Europe through our port. Thank you very much for today, and I hope that you will enjoy also the visit through the port and see our facilities. Thank you again.
Thank you, President Matic. It is now time for Andrej Car, Director of Sales and Marketing of Luka Koper, Port of Koper, to shortly present our port facilities.
So, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome also from my side. Considering that we have a tight schedule, I have to speed up a little bit, so I will try in like 15 to 20 minutes to present our company, so how we are organized, what we are doing, and what we can basically even offer to the countries where you are present. Here we have some basic information about our company. So Luka is a Slovenian expression which means port. So we are, Luka Koper is the name of our company, which actually means Port of Koper. We are a public limited company. Our shares are quoted on the Ghana stock market. As you might know, our major shareholder is the government of Slovenia. So this company is actually from its beginning, next year we will celebrate 60 years of activities. It's performing all the activities inside the port. It is also building and maintaining the port infrastructure. So in this respect, in 2008, we signed then a concession agreement with the government for the next 35 years. So, but as said, there is certain history behind from the beginning. So, from 1957, actually, this company was building and running the port. We are very proud to say that last year was our best year ever in the history of the port performance. in terms of total throughput, in terms of container throughput, in terms of car throughput. So last year we registered, let's say, the record numbers. In our company we have about 1,000 employees. However, a lot of, let's say, companies are very much linked to the logistics which is performed by Port of Koper. So Port of Koper represents, has a big impact on the Slovenian economy. Here we have just some picture in order to show you what we succeeded to accomplish in these 59 or 60 years of our activities. This first picture is from 19th century. At that time there was no port. You can see just old town of Koper, which used to be an island. Then we have a picture from 1955. This was 2 years before we actually started our activities. You can notice that on the southern part of the old town, part of the area has been already reclaimed from sea, but at that time mainly for agricultural purposes. And then we have a picture taken 14 years after we started our activities, so from 1971. And you can notice, let's say, the area northeast of the old town, which has been at that time we started to develop for the port activities. So the port infrastructure is mostly nowadays also the area which is being used has been reclaimed from sea. And this is, let's say, almost a today view, so you can notice all this is basically the port area managed by our company. So you can see that there has been really a substantial spatial development of the area dedicated for the port and logistic activities. Just for your idea, now we are sitting here. Few words about our throughput. So I said, last year, best year ever in the history, first time that we overpassed 20 million tons of all cargo groups. So the blue columns are representing all cargo groups together, while the green line is representing our container throughput. The containers are even growing faster than the, let's say, overall our overall traffic. You can notice 2009 was of course a difficult year for everybody due to the, let's say, global economic situation, but then we are very well recovering from year to year. As already our president anticipated, so we are basically a transit port. Slovenia represents about 30% of our throughput for our market. As a small economy and small country, so we decided already when Slovenia became independent from former Yugoslavia to focus very internationally. So the countries around Slovenia are our major markets. We are very proud to be already for many years the port number 1 in Austria. We are moving more than 6 million tons of cargoes to and from Austria. We are a market leader in Hungary and in Slovakia. So we have about 60 to 70% of container markets in those two countries. We are more and more cargo receiving also from Czech Republic, from southwest Poland, from South Germany, West Romania, and of course former Yugoslavia republics, let's say. And North Italy is also quite important market for certain cargo groups. So these are our major markets on the hinterland side. While when we talk about overseas, this is mostly the area we are targeting. So we are mostly our major markets are located in the Mediterranean basin, and then the countries beyond Suez, so Middle and Far East. Here in this respect, of course, we have also the geographical advantage. So our position is very well known due to, let's say, in this respect, for cargo groups coming from Far or Middle East, we are talking about the shortest transit route to the Central Europe. We are talking about the transport route where the shipping lines can save between 5 to 7 days of transit times on the seaside, and of course the customers can benefit also on the shorter transit time on the inland. So for countries I mentioned before. And what is also nowadays very important is that by using the shorter transport route, we generate less CO2 emissions. So the impact on the environment is much limited. And this is more and more important, let's say, for the generations to come. Actually, this year, Drewry, this is independent maritime consultant company, did a study. During this study, they were analyzing the transport route from China to South Germany, to Munich area, and they analyzed different ports and different transport routes. They took into consideration even the big ports in the North Europe, so Hamburg, Antwerp, Rotterdam, and then the Mediterranean ports, so the Italian ones, Genoa, La Spezia, Trieste, and Koper. And based on this study, they found out, it resulted that the Koper is the best options for time-sensitive cargo. So it means the shortest route, the faster route from China to South Germany is via Port of Koper. And this is extremely important. So the customers can benefit in terms of cost due to the shorter transit time. And this study can be applied not just for cargo from China to South Germany, but also from other areas, because the logic is almost the same. And this is one issue which is very important to present to our clients and potential clients. We are a multi-purpose port. Actually, it's easier to say what we are not handling than what we are handling. We are not handling just crude oil and gas. All other cargo groups we are regularly handling. Here you can see all other 12 different terminals we have inside the port. We are handling even livestock. We do have passenger terminal, liquid terminal, perishable goods we are handling, the reefer cargo. The strategically most important terminals are the car terminal and the container terminal. But as said, actually we are equipped and experienced to handle really all kinds of cargos. Very briefly, basic information about our major terminals. So general cargo terminal, here we are handling metal and non-metal products. We are handling a lot of paper, a lot of wood, wood pulp, project cargo. During the tour you will see that quite a lot of area is occupied by timber. So really different kind of commodities handling at this terminal. Then reefer terminal, here we are handling mainly perishable cargo, fruit and vegetables. We are getting a lot of vegetables from, especially from Egypt and from Israel. We are getting also bananas from Ecuador. And in the export direction, we are handling quite a lot of apples from Slovenia, but also from Poland, for example, in the export direction. We are handling grapes. We are the major, let's say, port for import of grapes from Egypt to EU, and so on. So in this respect, Port of Koper is a very good, let's say, location to do the distribution. So what I mentioned, for example, for grapes, the grapes are coming from Egypt, the containers with grapes are being stripped in Koper, and then the customers are doing distribution to different markets. You can see even to Moscow we have trucks, we have to Scandinavian area, to UK, and so on. So, and this, the main reason of this is, okay, very important is of course our service, but it's also important the transit time. So this fresh car can be in very short period of time delivered to the final client. Then dry bulk terminal, here we are handling really also different type of commodities. We are getting a lot of soybean meal, especially from Brasilia. We are handling cereals, grain, minerals, fertilizers, alumina, and other minerals as well. Then our European energy terminal, here we are handling big volumes of iron ore and coal. In the import direction, and we are handling a lot of fuels, meaning diesel and chemicals. Then, as I said, among the top two most strategic terminals is the car terminal. We are very proud because we are among the biggest car terminals in the whole Mediterranean area. Last year results, based on last year results, we were on the third place in the Mediterranean basin. Just Port of Barcelona, Port of Valencia did slightly more cars than that we did. We are very big parking space inside the port. On this picture you can see even the parking house. We have a parking house for 8,000 car units, but overall in the port we can store over 40,000 car units at the same time. Today we have around 30,000 cars inside the port. You will see later on during the tour. So the yellow areas are the areas where we park the cars. We have two important flows. One is the export. Here we are talking mainly export to Mediterranean countries. here the major clients are Volkswagen Group and Kia and Hyundai, which they have factories in Slovakia and Czech Republic. And then we have the import flow, partially from Far East, so South Korea and Japan, and partially from Turkey production. We do handle almost all car brands in the world. Last year we handled over 600,000 cars. This year the traffic is booming even further. We have 24% increase in the first 8 months of this year. So we are very confident that we will overpass 700,000 car units this year. Related to the car business, it's very important also to mention that last year we obtained a new business. So we got on the tender, we got the Daimler Mercedes business. So Daimler, the German producer, decided to move part of their volumes from China, Hong Kong and Singapore, from German port to the south port of Koper. And I think this is really a very important reference for us also for the future. Of course, in order to cope with this sharp growth, we have also to invest. This is just very fresh investment we did this year, additional 1,500 parking slots. We invested in the top of the tier number 2. And then, let's say, the most important terminal for also in future perspective, the container terminal. Here we have currently the container terminal is the capacity about 950,000 to 1 million TEU. We can berth 2 to 3 vessels on the pier side. The railway infrastructure is here on the northern part of the terminal. I did not mention that we are quite a unique port in Europe related to the modal split. Almost 60% of all cargo is being moved by rail and less than 40% by truck. Usually, in majority of European ports, this ratio is much more in favor of truck. In our case, the rail, most of the cargo is being moved by rail, what is proving that the railway connections and the railway service is functioning pretty well from the port of Koper. Okay, here we have the figures about the container throughput. Actually, in last 10 years, we came from 100,000 TEUs to over 800,000 TEUs, which is the target of this year. So impressive growth, and this growth is much above the average growth of other European ports. You might ask, what is the main reason? The main reason is not because the countries we are serving are booming in terms of economy, but the main reason is because the traffic flows are switching down from traditional North European ports like Hamburg, Bremen, Antwerp, Rotterdam. They are switching down to the south. And in this respect, this is the main reason. So the clients are using shorter transport route, of course, benefiting the less or with benefit on the cost structure. These are our major markets. What I said already before. Also in terms of containers, you can see important development in Hungary, Austria, and Slovakia, and Czech Republic. On some of these markets, as I said, we are market leaders, but we still see further room for improvement. As said, so all the area is getting more and more important. From 2010, we are market leader in the North Adriatic area. We overpassed the port of Venice in 2010, and we are keeping the first place from 2010 onward. But you can see, let's say, basically all ports, neighboring ports, so from one side in Italy, Trieste and Venice, and on the other side, the Croatian port of Rijeka, all are doing better in the last year, but luckily Port of Koper is growing faster than the others. And this is the comparison. Last year volumes of top 20 container European ports, which faced basically a drop of 2.6%, while Port of Koper grew of 17.3%. So again, we are performing very well, and our growth is much above the average growth of European ports.
Where is Rijeka? What country?
Croatia. Okay, a few words about the services we have. Actually, these two direct services from Far East which are performed on a weekly basis, brought to the Port of Koper additional value and additional volumes. Because these two services are offering to the client the shorter transit time to Europe from China and from South Korea. There are two alliances operating two different services. One is Maersk Line and NSC, so the two biggest container shipping lines, and then there is a mix of different other container shipping lines offering the second service. Here is just, let's say, a presentation slide about these services. One service is mostly focused on the Chinese traffic, and the second one is mostly focused on the South Korean traffic. So as said, very important services because they are offering shorter transit time. And then, of course, we are not looking just to Far East and Middle East, but also Mediterranean basin is very important for us. And also in this aspect, we have regular weekly intramed and feeder connection to really almost all Mediterranean countries. But don't think that we are not handling cargo coming from South America, even from North America. We are getting coal, we are getting cargo from South Africa as well. But the major markets are as said, so Mediterranean, North Africa, and Middle and Far East. Of course, it's not enough to have just good sea connections. It's very important also to have then efficient inland connections. In this respect, as said, we have plenty of railway connections to different markets around Koper and around Slovenia. On daily basis, just at the container terminal, we are tending to have 13 pairs of trains. And this is also one of our major advantages in comparison to the neighboring ports. So we succeeded in the last year to develop many of railway connections to the hinterland market. Majority of our investment in the next 5 years are going to be concentrated at the container terminal. Due to this sharp growth and due to the fact that we are coming slowly to the limits, to the current limits in terms of capacity. So our intention is to extend the pier for additional 100 meters and the whole yard, so where we store the containers, so to increase the capacity in 2020 to 1.4 million TEUs. We accomplished this year already. We built 5 new railway tracks on the container terminal. Now new equipment has been delivered. We just a few weeks ago we received 2 additional new rail anti cranes. We received new ERTGs, so these are the cranes which we operate on the yard area. We are moving from diesel, let's say, to electric RTGs, also, so taking care of the environment. So as said, majority of the investment are going to be focused at the container terminal. In the next 5 years period, we are planning to invest about 300 million euro in the expansion of our capacities, so in the infrastructure and the equipment. Out of this 300 million euro, 235 are going to be for the container terminal, and then the rest for the car terminal. Part of this has been already accomplished this year, so this area, which I showed you before, has been already paved and we are using already for storage of cars. Then we have completed also this year 3 additional tanks for jet fuel, so kerosene and diesel. And we are right now building a new multi-purpose warehouse of 6,000 square meters. This could be used for storage of general cargo, but also of some other cargos. So these are our major investment in 2020. As we are, let's say, performing our activities in the close vicinity of the town, we are putting a lot of efforts in order to monitor and to perform the activities in a way to limit the impact of our activities to the environment. And in this aspect, we are very successful. We are very proud also to stress that in 2014, the European Seaport Organization awarded us as the most environmental friendly port in Europe. So really, we are, let's say, trying to perform our activities in order to mitigate the impact on the environment. And this, as I said before, also is very important because we see also other logistic providers that are more and more considering important issue when they decide about logistics flows. Here we have a list of what we believe are our advantages. We are known as a very safe and secure port with a very flexible and reliable service. We are working 24/7, but not just we as a Port of Koper, but the whole port community is working 24/7. So also the forwarders, the agencies, the customs, other, let's say, inspections like filter inspections or veterinary inspections, they are very business oriented and they are assisting us in order to, let's say, that the cargo is being smoothly moved via our port. So full support of custom authorities definitely is a very important issue. We are investing a lot into the new equipment. As I said, we have good references for businesses. All communities linked with one IT system, and as said, excellent cooperation with everybody who is involved basically in the logistics. Because I'm always saying we might be the best port in the world in terms of efficiency and productivity, but it's very important that all the logistic players in the chain are working together, and it's very important that the coordination and cooperation among everybody. Otherwise, the cargo is stuck in the port. So that would be very, very quickly. I'm thanking you for your attention, but anyhow, I'm at your disposal if somebody has maybe any question.